absolute worst nightmare is you, okay, you becoming successful after she dumps you. I want you to understand something, fellas. The last thing that your sweet ex-girlfriend wants for you is for you to hit it big after she is no longer seeing you, okay? That would be her worst nightmare. The last thing your ex, your baby wants to see you do in life is succeed after she's no longer dating you, okay? That is her absolute worst nightmare, is her leaving you out in the cold, just kicking you in the nuts, leaving you for dead, thinking you're all washed up, you're all done. And then, just a few months later, maybe it might even take you a year later, you're back on your feet. You're bigger, badder, better than ever, making more money than ever, got a new, hot, young, beautiful girlfriend. That is the last thing she wants to see. That would be her worst nightmare. Okay, as much as you guys want to believe these little sweet nothings that she was whispering in your ear as she was dumping you, as she was jumping in bed with Chad, right? Behind your back, sneaking off to a little happy hour, telling you about how it's not you, it's me. And you know what? I'm always gonna love you. I'm always gonna love you, Chuck. I'm always gonna love you, okay? I know I'm breaking up with you. I know I've been hiding my cell phone. I know that I've been acting suspicious. I know, okay? I know you're hearing rumors that I'm cheating, but just know that I love you. I'm always gonna love you, okay? I'm always gonna love you. I just wish nothing but the best for you, Chuck. I wish nothing but the best for you. And she just leaves you out on the street, butt-ass naked, not a pot to piss in, thinking you're done, thinking she's never gonna hear from you again. That it's over. Ooh, let me go be with Chad. Let me go be with this new guy that I just met. After being with you for 5 years, all that investment you made in her. Let me go be with this guy I just met at the club last week. Grass is greener on the other side, girl. Grass is always greener. Shiny object syndrome. And then she jumps to that guy thinking that you're just going to disappear, right? You're just going to disappear into history. Do nothing with your life. Be a nobody. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, you're back. She just happens to come across your social media, or you might have some of the same friends, and they're like, oh my God, have you seen Chuck lately? She's like, oh, what is that loser up to? What did he do now? He created a successful business. Chuck is dating this girl. She's like, she looks really young. And she looks really beautiful too. She's like gorgeous. What? 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 I thought he was done. I thought he was done. I thought he was washed up. I don't think so, right? Not so fast. I mean, the revenge for you guys who actually come back, it's so sweet. And that's really what should drive you to, is just your ex dumping you, like just totally kicking you in the balls, leaving you for dead, right? Just kicking you to the curb, and then running off with this alpha Chad who will eventually end up cheating on her, right? Eventually just treat her like dirt. He won't even treat her half as good as you ever treated her. But she won't realize that. Okay, let me tell you something. She's never going to realize that until she sees you move on without her. Okay? Not only move on with your life, but I'll obviously move on to another girl. When you actually rise from the ashes, like the rising phoenix, and you make that comeback that I talk about, like Ali versus Foreman, 1974. You guys watch that fight. I think it's on YouTube. Right? Ali just came back. They thought he was done. They thought he was like over, too old, over the hill. He's never going to do this again. And then he beat like George Foreman at the time was like really, really like this intimidating beast. Right? And Ali came back to win the title back. Okay? You're going to pull the same thing. You're going to shock the world. Right? You're going to shock the world. I know it's like super hard. Like when you're down in the dumps, your girl just dumped you. You're so hurt. Right? I mean, especially because a lot of you guys have not been red pilled yet. At least when this happened to you, so it might have happened with your last relationship, right? You had not found the red pill yet. So when she started sneaking off, right, going to this other dude's house behind your back, or just kind of disappearing, maybe you haven't even gotten the evidence. You just know, right? There's something inside you. You know this bitch is up to something, right? She just doesn't come home. She's like acting super suspicious. She's not having sex with you anymore. She doesn't want to kiss you anymore, right? You know something's up. You know something's up. But you just never have enough evidence. But I mean, really, that's your evidence right there, right? That's your evidence right there. She's acting funny. She's keeping her distance from you. She's just not the same person anymore. I mean, you don't even know the evidence. Just remember the old saying, if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, and it talks like a duck, guess what? It's probably a duck. Okay? So if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and talks like a duck, gentlemen, it's probably a duck. Okay? So if you sense your girl is cheating on you, and there are just too many signs that you can't ignore, sorry to tell you, she's probably cheating on you, and she's probably going to dump you, right? And when she does, you're going to be hurt, right? Because you invested so much in her. You have so much invested in her, right? So much emotional investment in her, even financial investment, right? And so when it's finally over, it's like hitting a brick wall at 100 miles per hour, especially if you actually catch her cheating, right? If you actually catch her, maybe you don't catch her in the act, but you find emails, or you find text messages, or you break into her WhatsApp, right? You see all these things, and or her IG, and then you see all these like messages from this other dude talking about, oh baby, you came over last night, and oh my gosh, the earth moved, and you know, the world shook, and all this other stuff. It's like hitting a brick wall at 100 miles per hour, and I know it doesn't feel good, right? Especially because when these girls dump you, you know, she already has your replacement lined up, right? As I've told you guys, the girl will never dump you until she has a replacement, your replacement already lined up, right? She has to have that replacement ready to go. That's why we call it being hypergamous, right? That's why we call it monkey branching. Very rarely will these girls just dump you to just be alone, right? As much as they'll tell you that shit. I'm gonna dump you, I just need time to myself. Time to myself, my ass. No, there's always another guy, fellas. There's always another guy ready to take your place. Okay? Patriots cut Tom Brady without having a backup ready to go? Of course not. They already had somebody in mind. Okay? No different with your girl. She's not going to dump you unless she already has somebody in mind. And when she does, when she finally kicks you to the curb, she's going to think you're done. And you know what? She's going to have probably a good month, 2-3 month period, maybe even 6 month period, thinking that you're finished. Right? You're finished. She's never going to hear from you again. Your chapter is over. But when you come back, you shock the world, and you become big time. You become larger than life. You become successful. What have I told you guys? Success is the best revenge. You become successful. That is when she's going to be like, what? What? Chuck, what? Chuck became a millionaire? Oh my God, Chuck. Oh, who's he dating? He's dating a model. He's dating a guest model. Oh my God, Chuck. Look, okay, I have to get back with Chuck. I love Chuck. What was I thinking? And you're gonna be like, you know what? Go screw yourself, because she will come back. Okay? If you do that, she will come back. But here's the kicker: you can't take her back. That's a caveat. You can never take her back. Okay? You have to punish her. You have to let her know that you don't tolerate that behavior. You just never take her back. Right? I was in that same boat. Never took back my ex. Right? Never took her back. And don't regret it for 1 second. Right? So just understand, that is her worst nightmare, fellas, is you becoming successful. That is the last thing that your ex-girlfriend wants to see, is you hitting it big, you winning the lotto, you becoming the magic Powerball number winning lotto. She very much wants to see you fail after she dumps you. She wants to see you fail. She wants to see you can just lose in life, just do nothing with your life, just completely just toss your life in the gutter, so that she can feel confirmed that she made the right decision. So she never ever has to regret it. Because let me tell you a little secret, guys. The biggest thing that women just hate to live with is regret. Regretting a decision. Letting go of the one, right? And when you become the one, you become the measuring stick for every other guy that comes after you. I talk about my ex from 2006. Yeah, let's beat that dead horse, right? I did already a couple of coaching videos on this chick. And it's funny, some guys are like, oh, still hung up over her. I'm like, no, she's just a great example, right? She was the last person to dump me. So yeah, it's a great example. If I had somebody else who dumped me since, then I'd be talking about her, right? So it's not even anything personal. They're like, oh, he never found happiness again. It's all about his ex from 2006. It's like, no, dude, I found happiness plenty of times after her. But none of those girls dumped me or, and none of those girls treated me as coldly. I mean, that was like the last year of my, just total blue pill self. I went all in. Went full blue pill, all in. I was like, nope, I'm going to totally try to make this work. That was the last time I ever did that. That's why I just continue to use that as an example over and over. It really has little to do with her. Yeah, because I mean, that chick did come back and she stalked me for 3 years. I never took her back, but it's a great example because I was the last person to dump me. But as I was saying, even in her situation, wanted me to fail. Lost that bet big time. And yes, I do gloat on it. It still feels good to gloat. As you will, okay, as you will. I mean, you should just want to become successful in life, period. But again, your ex doesn't want that for you. She doesn't want you happy. She wants you miserable. Okay? She doesn't want to see you succeed in life. She wants to see you fail. And that is the sad truth. But for you guys who are in this situation, use that to your advantage. Use that to your advantage to come back and actually build a bigger, better, and badder life. To date better looking women, cooler women, okay? Even beyond looks. Just cooler women that you get along with, that will treat you better, where you can shove it in her face. And thanks to social media, it's really easy to shove it in your ex's faces, because statistically, they say that like a majority of like the internet searches, not a majority, but there was some like crazy, surprising and not surprising statistic that I read about ex-girlfriends like Googling their ex-boyfriends. So I guarantee that you've had some exes Google you to see what you're up to, especially the ones who kicked you in the balls. They want to like Google and like just confirm, make sure he's failing, make sure I made the right decision. Then when she sees like, oh shit, he's a banker, he's an investment banker now. Oh, he's a stockbroker? What? He got his law degree, he passed the bar, and all this other shit. She's gonna be like, he's a successful business owner. He's an entrepreneur. What? It's her worst nightmare because now she has to live with that regret. Just like my ex from 2006. She has to live with that regret. She's been living with that regret ever since she dumped me in 2006. How crazy is that? That was 14 years ago. I mean, I hear like, she's trying to just get over it, trying to move on. I have been the measuring stick for every single guy after. And none of those guys measured up. That's what I want you to be. I want you to become the measuring stick for your exes, for every guy that comes after you. And she has to live with the fact that she let go of a champion. She let go of a winner. It was a mistake.